Welcome back. I have 5 items that I think we should never buy from the store ever again and that we should make on our own. They are healthier, they are cheaper, we can control the ingredients, and they're just more delicious. So stick around and we will talk about all 5 of them. The first item that you should never buy from the store, you should make on your own, is broth. And the reason for that is it's basically free to make broth if you have the bone. So you bought a rotisserie chicken, you can make broth from that. Or you bought a big roast, you can make broth from the bone. Or a pork roast. As long as you buy a meat cut that has bones, you can make broth for free and you can control all of the ingredients that go into it. That's a huge win. You can control the sodium content, there won't be any preservatives, and then you can either can it or freeze it to preserve it. And then you have broth for any time you need it. I never buy broth from the store. I always make it on my own. And this is so convenient instead of using that powder, because the powdered broth has a lot of ingredients in it that if you looked, you might not actually want to eat. The next item you should never buy from the store, you should make on your own, is one that I actually did buy from the store. And that is sauces and marinades. Sauces and marinades are so easy to mix together, and you probably already have all of the ingredients in your fridge to make most, or at least most of the ones that you would want to make. And so this just isn't necessary. They're more expensive to buy them from the store. And take a listen to these ingredients: high fructose corn syrup, water, distilled vinegar, salt, less than 2% of lime juice, papaya puree, dried onion, modified cornstarch, spices, dried garlic, molasses, sesame oil, caramel color, sodium benzoate, which is a preservative, potassium sorbate, which is also a preservative, xanthan gum, natural flavor. Natural flavor is where you get in trouble. They don't have to tell you what's in it. It just means there's a bunch of other stuff they didn't list. And then paprika extract for color. So there's a lot of things in here that we don't even know what they are or that are preservatives, so make this on your own. And something I love to do with my homemade marinades is put them directly onto meat. This one's ginger garlic, but there's tons of different options for what you can make. The options are endless, and you know what ingredients are in there as long as you know what ingredients you're using. Now, not just marinades though, your sauces as well. So I will link a video where I made a bunch of copycat sauces. The stores sell those kind of sauces, right? You see the Chick-fil-A sauce, you see the Cane's sauce or the Arby's sauce. You see that in the store. You could buy it, but you could make it yourself with the ingredients that you have. Typically those sauces just have a little bit of ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, mixed in with a few other ingredients and spices, and there's your sauce. It's usually that simple. Now, since we just had out our freezer marinated meats, I thought the next thing we'd talk about is TV dinners. Don't buy TV dinners. They are not good for you, typically. Some of them are getting better, but if you just get the ones that are more on the cheap side, they're still not that cheap. They don't have a whole ton of food. The preservatives in them can be crazy. They're expensive even if they're the cheaper ones because you're only getting the smallest portion. I mean, a macaroni and cheese about this size, even though it's a little different shaped, a couple bucks, but that's not a couple bucks worth of mac and cheese. This is a buffalo style mac and cheese with chicken in it. So delicious. You can really customize your freezer meals if you make them on your own and batch them, do them in a day. You get a ton of them. And you guys, it is so much cheaper. So to make this, I got, what did I get? 2 big pans and 3 little. So I got the equivalent of probably 9 or 10, we'll go 10 because 10's easy math, little individual servings. I used 1 pint of canned chicken. That came out to be about $2.50 because it's about $2.50 a pound and a pint's a pound the world around. So $2.50 of chicken, plus I used half of a box of pasta. That was a bigger box of pasta, probably about $2 there. And then a little bit of cheese and a little bit of buffalo sauce. So let's just say $3. That brings us up to about $7.50, under $1 for each. And nowadays you can't really get those for under $1. They used to be 50 cents. So it's cheaper to make them on your own. You control the ingredients and you get to make exactly what you want. The next ingredient that you should make on your own instead of buying from the store is rice mixes. Now, I didn't buy this one. This one was given to me by someone who didn't want to eat it, so I'll always take whatever they don't want to eat, and then sometimes I give food away as well. So we have our chicken seasoned rice that we did on our own. I will link that video as well. We made 5 rice mixes, and this is the only one that's left. Now, this is also a chicken flavor. They're the same thing, basically. I did use a different style of rice, so your style of rice matters. But let's take a look. This one's ingredients, all natural, all what I'm used to using. And what you can do here is, instead of putting like a bouillon seasoning in here, you can just put all of your spices minus that. And then when you go to cook it in some broth that you've made on your own. And there you go. So the ingredients: parboiled long grain rice. Okay, that's fine. Vermicelli, which is a wheat flour, which you could absolutely break some pasta, put it in there as well. Maltodextrin, cornstarch, less than 2% of hydrolyzed soy protein, chicken fat, salt, chicken powder, onion powder, sugar, potassium chloride, carrots, parsley, yeast extract, turmeric for color, disodium inosinate, something like that, disodium guanylate, natural flavors, which there's those natural flavors again, vitamins and minerals, ferrous sulfate, which is iron, ferric orthophosphate, riboflavin, which is vitamin B2, niacin, thiamine mononitrate, vitamin B1, and folic acid. What the heck? I could barely read those. Such clean ingredients. And okay, the reason that these are like marketed as being quick and easy is because they are parboiled, so you can just stick it on the stove and it's really easy. But I have a trick here, and the trick is, what you do is you dump this whole thing straight into a pressure cooker or a rice cooker, and then you take your broth. For this amount, it would be a pint of broth. And then you just give it a little stir, put it on the rice setting, and then one rice setting later, you have rice, and you didn't have to do anything on the stove. So this is also a lot less work. And the last item that you should never buy from the store and you should make on your own are those canned biscuits. Any kind of canned biscuits, whether they're a roll, a croissant, a cinnamon roll. They are so easy to make on your own, or even you could get them from the freezer section with a lot less terrible ideas for you, or more of a fresh food. But these are also so easy to make. Today I made cinnamon rolls, and I made ham and cheese rolls, all using just one dough. And they turned out great. I did use a different kind of flour than normal, so my rolls didn't puff up as much, but they're still great. I use these as Hawaiian rolls. We've made them tons of times. But of course, if you don't have time to do all of this, there are a ton of good healthy options that are not the canned ones that leave that weird film on the top of your mouth. You know what I'm talking about? So there you have it. These are the 5 items that I think you should never buy from the store, because the ingredients either aren't the best, or you could make it for yourself cheaper. So if you have any other suggestions for what we should never buy from the store again and we should make on our own, please leave them down below. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. If you're interested in seeing how I made the chicken rice mix, I will leave that video here. And of course, I will leave the video where I made all of the bread here. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.